So the core rules of Marvel Snap are super straightforward. There are 3 locations in the center that are randomly generated from a pool, or not randomly generated, but randomly selected from a pool of about 60 currently, and they add a new one each week. My opponent retreated apparently. Your goal is to have the most points at 2 of the 3 locations at the end of the game. And all of your cards have a mana cost top left, a power top right, and then varying rules text that makes the game obviously interesting and deep to play. Oh, my opponent apparently had to go somewhere, so let's grab another game here so we can dive on in. Okay, so Collector here says whenever a card enters my hand from anywhere except my deck, it gets +2 power. And Agent 13 generates a random card into my hand, which will make Collector bigger. So I'm gonna lead on Rocket Raccoon here on the left because I want to play Agent 13 after I Collector to make him bigger. Good beat on our Rocket Raccoon here. You're gonna see his animation pop up. Rocket Raccoon says, if I played this at the same location opponent just played a card this turn, it gets bigger. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the Collector into the vault here. Locations flip up on turns 1, 2, 3, and honestly, I think with my Raccoon hitting an Agent 13 plus Hood in my hand for Collector, I think I'm gonna go ahead and snap here. Snapping is one of the more interesting things that this game does compared to other card games. Snapping basically is how much a given ladder match is being played for. So not all matches have the same amount of stake. So my opponent has to decide here now, do they want to retreat and just give up 1 cube, kind of an ante, or do they want to stay in to double the stakes? So they've stayed in. So now the winner of this match will get at least 2 ladder points from the opponent, and the loser will lose 2. Falcon is an incredible pickup here after we added the Collector. So this bounces all my 1-cost cards back to my hand. So I'm going to go ahead and Agent 13 and Nightcrawler. This got made cost 1 larger by the Icebox, which was this location. We'll see what Agent 13 generates for me here, and then next turn we will get to Hood plus Falcon to make my Collector huge. Wave's a disruptive card here. So Wave says, on your next turn, all cards in both players' hands cost 4, so I can't double spell this turn. I think I'm just playing Bishop then, is my plan. It's gonna make my sequencing a little awkward though, because if I Bishop this turn and then Falcon next turn, I'm not going to be able to I'm not going to be able to Chavez on 6 when she shows up, but I think that's fine. If we get Odin here, we're in a lot of trouble. Just Iron Man. Iron Man's a large land, chat. He doubles your power at the location. Angela means I could realistically fight Iron Man at the vault here, I think. So I'm gonna go Angela into Hood into Falcon here. Angela says this gets +2 power whenever a card is played here. So we'll play a card, she'll get up to 5. Falcon's going to stay here, and he kicks all my 1-drops back to my hand. So Hood's going to generate us a demon into our hand, and then Falcon's gonna kick 1, 2, 3, 4 things back to my hand. So Collector's gonna go up to 12 power here. So we'll have 12 plus 5 is 17. We're gonna have 20 here in the center. So every one of these cards Falcon picks back up, makes my Collector bigger. Oh, Jubilee's a tough beat on the vault. That means I can't, I could give this 4 more power, but we're still short of the 32 here, unfortunately. So that means I have to try and win the negative zone, which I'm not sure that we can. Because there's a good chance they play into the icebox though, right? What if I do this and I just hope Demon is enough to win the negative zone? This is playing out 4 cards total, so Bishop goes up to 9, and then Rocket Raccoon will make this 6, so that's 15 plus 4 is 19. If they don't play into the negative zone, we could have a good shot here. We're gonna be a little, are we 1 short here? I counted 19, right? Yeah, we're 1 short. Too short. 3 technically of being over. Defeat. Oh no, it was 19. I forgot this was gonna end. How you play this game. So it's technically in closed beta at the moment. If you do a Google search, there is a way you can side load into it, depending on whether you're playing on Android or iOS. If you'd prefer not to jump through hoops like that, hopefully it's going to be in open beta by the end of the month. Soon, TM. You can also apply for the closed beta on their website. They've been opening that up to more people over time, but currently you need an invite. All right, so Hood makes us a demon, and then Beast bounces Hood back to your hand to make another demon. So that's lovely. Yeah, they have done beta waves almost every day this week. There's been a ton of people that subs Discord that said they got invites. All right, then we'll Iceman plus Agent 13. Oh, TVA changes the dynamic. So normally the game ends after 6 turns, but TVA says it ends after 4 turns. Huh? What does sideload mean? Sideload means you install it from a third-party repository. I think I actually just beast the Hood back now, and that'll give me a second demon by turn 4. Yeah, apps not through the App Store. Mr. Fantastic's actually kind of great here, too. We'll play Hood left, and then I'm going to snap here, because we're going to have 4 really good 1-cost cards to play out next turn. There's a good chance we win all 3 locations next turn. With the second demon here. So this puts us to 4 here, 6 here if they play because of Rocket Raccoon. This puts us to 8 in the middle. It puts us to 10 over here. So pretty good shot to win 2 of the 3. All right, we're losing Kunlun. That's fine. Sweet. Okay, and then we win center and we win right as well because this will be up to 6 with this plus this. Perfect. Hey, thanks for the 45 bucks, CJ. Victory. And a mission to play 51 cost cards, which this deck was really good at plowing through. Finishes my 2nd week of the season pass stuff, so we get to claim some more credits from here. Is everybody freaking out for some Snap? We'll toggle sub mode off since we're playing a non-Magic game. I appreciate the people that hang out to check out the various variety stuff that I do. 1-cost cards can't be played here, Sedge. Hood was one of the cards I wanted the most, yeah. Still looking for magic and mystique. Oh, that's hella awkward for us. Hopefully this gives us something to do. Well, and it's gone. That is probably just a retreat, honestly. I guess maybe Chavez comes down here and is fine. Maybe. Would love to draw a bishop this turn. Easy game, chat. Easy game. So with bishop here into a Korg here, we drop Chavez here on the left next turn, and then maybe got a shot to win left and right. The cost reductions do not impact being able to play to left yet. Nowhere to play. They skipped their turn. We could get infinited here. Any 6-drop torches us right, but I'm going to stay in for 1 extra cube. That actually beats us because of Sunspot.
Defeat.
We're getting close to infinite. We might hit infinite this week for the season. Rank 100. This says when a card moves here, give it +2 power, which will be able to combo with Nightcrawler. Actually, I want a Nightcrawler over here to start because my sequence is going to be Collector on 2 and then Korg plus Beast on 3, and we'll move Nightcrawler here before we Beast, so we'll be able to pick this up as a 4-power thing and then play it out and move it to Kunlun again, getting it up to 6. And I think I'm gonna snap here because I have Collector, Beast, Nightcrawler. The setup is really good for us early. This is something I talked about when we were playing Magic earlier. One of the things about Snap is being able to read or estimate how good... Alright, well, Arkwald is watching the stream, chat, so I guess it's gonna be a tough match. Yeah. It's gonna be a tough match. The Electra right, especially when you have Yondu to open, is just like makes actual no sense unless you're hanging out. Big oof. Is there any other structure for which cards are where outside of 1 and 2? There is not. Okay, this is actually great for us because this doubles up on reveal. So Angela's gonna happen here and she's gonna go up to 5, and then Hood's gonna give us 2 demons, and Korg's gonna put 2 rocks in their deck. That's just some good deck building right there. Oh, I do need to remember that Mindscape's gonna be happening. I actually probably can't Beast then, right? Do I want to give them... No, this is a real person. They don't have any of the fancy cosmetics about to. So Mindscape here is gonna be a thing. Do I want to give them a 1 mana 5 power Angela for the sake of making my collector huge? I think I do actually. No, I draw Chavez on 6. Oh, I don't draw Chavez on 6 because they Yondu'd it. They have 4 cards in their hand. This is close. This might be loose on my part. It might be right to put 2 demons here in the bishop path, actually, because my collector is getting so large. They only played 1 card, though, so I'm getting 3 cards out of their hand. Okay, so they're going to have Angela and Spider-Man. Neither of those are super scary. Why do we play? I played the Beast because I wanted 12 power in my collector. Oh. And now we just lead it, right? Yeah, okay. Thanks.
Victory.
Leader copies any cards they play this turn. So it just gets to match everything they play out. Alright, we beat the spooky ghost. I'm sure this is a symptom of it being in closed beta and there being a more limited player base, but I really hope when we have a slightly wider player base audience, they give their matchmaking algorithm more priority towards not having repairs. I've definitely queued into the same person 3 to 4 times in a row. It doesn't happen frequently, but when it does happen, it's kind of annoying. Oh, their client lagged out. Deal. Take it. You wait like 5 seconds or so, but I don't want to wait 5 seconds for my dopamine. It's my game of Marvel Snap, and I want it now. This card is so good, chat. This card was such a big upgrade to this deck for me. It's so strong. Okay, so if I Korg into Falcon, my hand can only have 7 cards in it. What if I Korg into Beast? This would pick these 2 back up. And then I still get to draw. And I think I'm actually going to snap them on the Korg into Beast. Because I'm going to put 2 rocks into their deck. I don't have a big payoff yet here, but we should definitely find one before the end of the game. We have 7 turns. We're going to put like 4 rocks in their deck over a long game too, which is great. It is Morbin time, which is a little concerning. Okay, so more rocks, more demons, Falcon, pick all of my friends up, demon. So I'm gonna end up with 2 demons in my hand, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So I again wouldn't get to draw a card this turn with this sequence. So I think the play is Hood, then Falcon, then Korg, then Demon. And this ends up with 2 demons in my hand and then this, and this come back, so I'll be at 6 cards. Your hand size is a resource you really have to manage while playing this deck. Maybe playing Falcon into the Baxter building is wrong, and I'm supposed to leave myself the ability to play 3 demons there. Yeah, I think Falcon into Baxter's wrong. I probably should have put Falcon into Limbo. Yeah, I think I messed that up. I should have put Falcon into Limbo. Bishop's gonna be a large lad. They snapped me, huh? We win this? I think we can win this. I didn't bounce the demons. I generated new demons. There's now 4 of them. I think we're dead shit. We are super dead. Yeah, I needed my copy of Collector much sooner. They desperately need to speed up all of these animations surrounding Collector. No, I actually think this deck that the opponent is playing is worse than the Sarah Zoo deck, but a lot of people don't have copies of Sarah, so they play this instead. Because this deck technically doesn't need Hell Cow. This is mostly a pull 1, pull 2. This deck is fine. You don't think I was ever winning against their draw? I don't think that's true at all, Gap. If I'd have had a Collector on turn 2 like they did, our Collector would have been very large as well. Our Collector or Angela would have been big enough to compete with their Apocalypse. So we'd probably lose to their Collector, but I think we'd win the other 2 paths by competing with their Apocalypse with our Demons and Chavez. The opponent's archetype is very reasonable, and it's great when it goes off, but it is really awkward sequencing in a lot of spots, and often depends on winning percentage plays on which cards you end up discarding. So it's definitely a good choice to ladder with if you have the cards for it. I'm not going to say it's bad, but I do think if you have everything, it's worse than some of the alternatives. Honestly, our hand's kind of sick here. Entropy Engine, thank you for the 15 months. Welcome back. This has got to be a bot, right? I just played a strong guy into here on 1. Now I get to play 3 1-drops here with Angela, and then Falcon will pick them all back up, so Angela gets to get huge. Our hand is going to be full for a turn. I think that's okay, though. Oh, he didn't pick Hood back up. I believe it's random which ones it picks back up. It's a little bit of a bad beat for us. I don't think I want to commit my last card to here, and I don't know that I want to play a Raptor out and lose my super flows. I think we just do this for now. It should be play order. I don't think that's true. I believe it's random. You should definitely be playing a Koyo in the zoo deck. Which is very, very, very good. I think I just play all of these out left for tiebreakers. And then we end on Forge. That way Chavez is 12 power next turn. So we're obviously losing left. Nightcrawler sliding over wins here, then this wins the center pretty hard, so it's a 12 with the Forge plus Angela. Thanks for the follows, folks. Welcome to people coming in from the Snap channel on Twitch. If you're new to my stuff, welcome. My name's Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here. We do a lot of card games and strategy games. I've been absolutely devouring Marvel Snap since I got into their closed beta about a month ago. We have a nice, healthy collection level thanks to the most powerful card, our credit card. I'm making a ton of content for it, streaming it live a couple hours a day here on Twitch. I also have a highlights channel on YouTube where the best of my stuff ends up at. A lot of deck highlights, other game news updates there. You enjoy that type of thing, make sure you give it a sub. Opponent snapped me on one. I mean, my hand's lovely. Do we just double them up, chat? Double or nothing? I don't have a Beast or a Falcon yet, but outside of not having Beast or Falcon, our hand is very good. And they had a Koye, and we called it with the Rocket Raccoon. The last play I made loses to Khazar and Blue Marvel. Sure, we're playing against a bot, though. I guess I play Blue Marvel on occasion. Oh, Beast is a great draw. How are we sequencing? We have all of our payoffs at this point. So we got to figure out how do I want to prioritize getting them out? Do I want to Bishop? Angela into Nightcrawler here. We're supposed to Bishop middle to help Collector. Does Collector need help though is a real question. Because I could Hood, Agent, Beast, and then this gives me card +3. So that'll fill my hand this turn. But I'm kind of okay with filling my hand this turn, right? I could also go Hood into Bishop middle. I kind of want to play Bishop right to help Angela in New York. Although I guess I can play him middle and then slide him over. Well, that doesn't give Angela the buff. There's a lot of permutations here. Oh, I didn't Bishop first. Yeah, I ran out of time. We lose by a point. It's our fault. Like this. You pick these 3 up. This generates 1, so I'll have room to draw Chavez next turn. This is gonna go up to 10 here. And then next turn I have 2 free things that can add 2 more power to it. So this is a virtual 14.
I am Iron Man.
And we compete with 38 in New York. Yes, Nightcrawler can move into Hellfire Club. So if I move this out, this goes to 18. This puts it to 30, 31. So I can't compete in New York, unfortunately. Which means I have to try and win Olympia, which seems challenging. This puts me to 212, 18, 20 here. And they're kind of at 11. What does moving Collector to New York do? This is only going to be 14 at most, so I still lose New York if I move Collector there. That seems exceptionally bad. Yeah, we could lose this one to stay in. Yeah, we're dead. Rough. Nakia is definitely the problem child of this patch. She is very, very good. Nakia added how much power to this board? She added 2, 4, 8. Nope, I can't click on that. 8, 10, 12. Yeah, so she was 13 power for 3 mana. Definitely rates very similar to Nova Carnage. The things that give +2 definitely seems like the kind of danger zone for design space in this game, as far as power level is concerned. Collector was 12 power for 2 mana. That's true. Collector is definitely one of the more powerful cards as well, but you also have to kind of build your entire deck around Collector, right? Like, that deck that I'm playing, like, you look at cards like Beast and Falcon, and they're not very inherently powerful cards. Nakia, on the other hand, simply requires you to just play the cards in your hand in order to get the power for it. So I think cards that are inherently powerful, that require you to build your deck around them, are interesting and good. Nakia is not really a build around. It's just you play this, then you play the cards out of your hand. That's also true what Gap said. A card like Collector is all of its power in one location, whereas Nakia is power spread out, which makes it inherently more powerful.
Lucky.
Playing into the Superflow, obviously, so we're gonna keep the extra energy there. Mojo, noted. I'm just gonna wave here. I'm gonna go ahead and Sarah here. So next turn I'm gonna have a decision. I could Odin the Green Goblin back to them, or, and this is kind of what this deck is looking to get set up to do. When you wave into Sarah, if you Odin wave on turn 5, we get to play 2 cards on turn 6, and they only get to play 1. Because our cards will be set to 4 minus 1 from Sarah, and their cards will be set to 4. So Sarah makes all of our cards cost 1 less, minimum of 1. So I think I'm more inclined to Odin my wave next turn. Limbo, yep. Okay, so Limbo. Does Limbo change what I'm interested in doing? Probably. Probably. I think I Odin the Green Goblin back now. Just to shut off their super flow mana.
I am Iron Man.
Alright, so we're losing DC. We're losing DC, but we got a good shot to win left and right here, right? And we're set up to Killmonger and Magneto on the last turn.
Oh, snap.
So Black Widow's gonna give them a Widow's Bite here so they don't draw a card next turn. Effectively rendering their what's it called? Useless there. Okay, so we Killmonger left, Magneto right, call it a day. That puts us to plus 16 here. And this is minus 6, so 7 to 23. We're plus 16 here as well. I forgot it was going to move the Green Goblin. That's funny. I probably should have sequenced Killmonger and Magneto in the other order there. Can you make Sarah decks without wave? Yeah, I actually think the Sarah Zoo deck. Do you need wave for the Sarah deck? You need wave for this deck. You do not need wave for the Sarah Zoo deck. And if you haven't seen the Sarah Zoo deck before, there is a deck highlight of it up on the Snap channel. I think the Sarah Zoo deck's probably one of, if not the best deck in this current balance patch. It's very strong. Great, we have wave into Sarah. We'll draw a Domino next turn.
What are the odds?
Assemble.
Turn 5, all cards must be played in the Avengers compound. Rude. Oh, I guess I should have played wave into there then, so I could Odin that location. Is there any way to get wave if you missed the last pass of the beta? Yes, wave will be in the generic card pool for pool 3 starting August 1st. Or sorry, starting whenever the season rolls. The season will roll over exactly August 1st when the next season starts.
Clear for takeoff.
So let's Black Widow into Jubilee here. I'm Black Widowing first. So that way if we flip Odin off of Jubilee, we get to give them another Widow's Bite. So I think Thor actually has some solid potential. I think Thor actually has some solid potential as a card when we get Jane Foster. Her card's coming out via a Nexus event here at the end of the month. All right, if we move Bishop over here, we win the game. I think. Is that how math works, or are we still short? We have been torched by the bot champ. What is the Nexus event? We don't know all of the details yet, but it will be a new manner of acquiring cards directly. It's going to be some kind of loot box pull system involved, where if you do enough opens, you get a guaranteed specific card. We don't know what the rates are of what they'll cost exactly, but we do know each one will have 2 specific cards that you'll be able to target to acquire from them. Gazby, thank you for the 74-month resubscription. It's an incredible duration. Welcome back. I think people trying to estimate the given rates for what it's going to cost to do polls for the Nexus events are beyond silly, because what they're going to cost is not only going to be proportional to what they think they want cards to cost to get, but also it's going to have to be proportional to how many other things are in there, right? Because if it's going to be a loot box gotcha style system, it's not just the cards you're pulling towards, it's also other things in there that you can get, like cosmetics or credits or stuff like that too. So I know it's not sexy or exciting to say, hey, we should wait and see instead of talking out of our asshole, but you should wait and see instead of talking out of your asshole. Probably giving up Kunlun here with them playing strong guy into it. That's usually a tough path to win. If they played their hand out early or they have priority going into the last one, maybe we could line up a Shang-Chi to win here potentially. We'll see how the rest of it plays out. Our hand's super awkward here. We just don't have any particularly good proactive plays here. No wave, no Jubilee is awkward. I think we're just like playing a Rhino for the sake of playing a 3-power thing out. Killmonger cleans out our squirrel problem. Yeah, I think guesstimation like that's probably reasonable cap. Free to plays get like 1,000 gold a month. An estimate 1,000 gold is probably enough to get at least one of the 4 cards. I think that's a reasonable ratio. An expectation based on actual numbers. Wild. I'm actually just gonna retreat here. Our hand is so super awkward. Maybe their hand is awkward too, but not waste the last couple of turns here. Is there any gold in the free-to-play portion of the season pass, or is the gold in the season pass all for paying only?
Always lucky.
Ah, that's funny. If Mirror Dimension copies Mindscape, we swap hands and then we swap back. Ring there is a little sad for us. Second danger room, eh? I'm gonna go ahead and put Jubilee into the danger room alongside Black Widow, because there's an Odin in our deck we could flip out, which would trigger Black Widow again. Wave's not bad here. It really slows down. Honestly, that wave play might be snappable. I guess I'm giving them a Shang-Chi as something I should consider here. If I play Sarah, I could probably vomit out the rest of their hand, right?
Oh, snap.
Let's snap here and play Sarah, I think. Because they can only play 1 card this turn because of Wave. And a bunch of the cards in their hand got +2 from a Nakia. So they're going to have to give us a bunch of +2 cards with Mindscape. And even if they, like, get rid of Mindscape here, we have Sarah and a bunch of reasonable utility cards for next turn. Yeah, put it retreated.
Victory.
I think that's a good stamp. I don't think there were guaranteed to win, but I think we win on a lot of permutations there, so I'd rather get my guaranteed cube in. I wonder what card they're waiting to open, chat. Thanos here. Domino on 2.
Right on time.
This deck does not have a good way to get anything into the Sanctum. That's something that's noteworthy. And that's the Space Throne. I think the Space Throne is good or bad for me. They haven't done anything yet, so it could go either way. I think I'm inclined to Rhino the Space Throne here. They waved me, eh? Alright, call. Magneto's a pretty big boy. There aren't a lot of things bigger than him. He says before getting Gigantoed. Magic! Do you believe in magic? Do 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 do. Do I even want a Jubilee here? I'm not sure that I do. It's close. Them filling limbo here. Oh, they're... I am still missing magic, yeah. Alright, so owning the Green Goblin's probably a win, right? Wong is kinda scary. I have priority here. Opponent retreated. Alright. Okay. And then, like, White Tiger, they could fill the middle. Variant? Not 50 gold. Not 50 gold. 200 credits. We take those. We take 200 credits, Chip.
What are the odds?
Alright, I guess we're putting some rocks in our deck here. Because on reveals don't happen here in Murder World here she die. Oh, we're not getting rocks. Okay. But this does unfortunately mean that I can't Odin by Sarah, which is sad. I think I'm punting the flooding zone here, although I guess there's no guarantee they play here. Man, it's close. I think there's a chance I'm supposed to play into the flooding zone here because it's a bot. I just, like, play anything into there. My Sarah is wasted mid. Okay, rewarded. It's a pretty good one for them. It added power, but also put power somewhere else. So my Sarah would have tied there.
Opponent snapped.
Opponent snapped. We just Magneto, and then next turn we get to Hellcow plus Chavez, right? For plus 16 power. This deck just gets to add so many stats on the last couple of turns when you have Sarah. Yeah, and if I put Hellcow here, it's 21, and we put Chavez here, puts us to 15, so a solid win. I mean, I saw the tweet that said there's going to be end game collection changes, but no, I don't have any inside information yet. I'm just someone who's addicted to Marvel Snap like the rest of you. They sent me a box of some like stickers and stuff when the beta first announced, but other than that, I'm just along for the ride like everybody else. Thanks for the follows, folks. Welcome to the channel today. We're gonna be snapping in the afternoons from like noon, 1 o'clock central till about 2 or 3 o'clock every single day this week. Sure to drop by again if you enjoy the vibes of the channel. Quinjet. Killmonger is hungry.
Always lucky.
This is another deck I want to play with Hood a little bit. I haven't had a chance to yet. Okay, that's I'm gonna try and wave into the danger room, I think, here. If she dies, it's not the end of the world. Then we can Sarah into Mojo World. One of the things that's kind of sweet about this deck is when you have Sarah in play, you can play Shang-Chi, Killmonger, and Hellcow all on the last turn of the game. They cost 3, 2, 1. Now I think I'd rather Odin. So Odin means my opponent can only play 1 card next turn and I can play any 2 cards. Because I'll have Wave making things cost 4 and then Sarah makes them cost 1. So next turn we can like Killmonger plus Chavez, etc. So I'll have this turn to do something and then next turn. Oh, I guess Quinjet Moon Girl means they can play 2 cards as well, right? So maybe this doesn't work as well as I want because they have Quinjet and they Moon Girled. Oh my gosh, we lost the Danger Room flip. And they have Iron Man. Yeah, I think we actually have to bounce now, right? Because we know they have another Iron Man in hand, because this one was created by Moon Girl.
Escaped.
It's very possible I should have Killmongered the Quinjet proactively earlier. I don't know when we could have fit that in, but it maybe should have been a priority. It didn't matter if they couldn't double spell the other Iron Man. I wasn't winning the game. They're gonna have 4x power at the center location, CJ and J.
What are the odds?
Psylocke's a little scary. It's a sweet altar. I hate this location. It screws up my plans so often. I guess we'll do this here, but I'm a little sad that I can't wave into Sarah. So he smashes this before it puts rocks in our deck, which is great. Mr. Negative, yep. He's got all the sweet altar arts. So do I want a Sarah to set up playing a bunch of cards, or do I want to wave to stop them from playing a bunch of cards next turn? It could be right to just wave Hellcow here, honestly. Does this deck want magic? Every deck in Marvel Snap wants magic. The card is fucking cracked in half. Does this deck want magic? The answer to that question is always yes. Always 1000% yes. My called shot is that magic is one of those cards that once more players have access to it in Marvel Snap, it will likely get rebalanced. It is just incredibly powerful in how it can swing games.
Escaped.
Domino is a guaranteed 2-drop in a deck that does not have many 2-drops. Hellcow is not a 2-drop in this deck. We don't have cards that we're discarding for profit. Hellcow is a card that we play to fill our curve on turns 5 and 6. So our deck without Domino only has one card that costs 2 or less. So Domino means I have plays early. I'm only at collection level 3. I'm only at collection level 3100. We don't have magic yet.
Right on time.
Uh-uh. Do I want to wave? I think we want to wave, right? We're blowing up TVA with Rhino every time. I mean, it depends on what the game looks like, right? I'm gonna wave and I'm gonna snap. I put it retreated, deal.
Victory.
We're only blowing up TVA there if it looks like we're gonna lose. Black Widow's like a smidge awkward into Stark Tower because he gives them a free thing to get 2 power with here, but definitely still into taking one of their draws away.
Lucky.
So. I retreated there because there is a bug in the game client that occasionally skips your turn 2. Hopefully that one gets fixed next patch. It's very rare and it happens seemingly randomly, but when it happens, it's kind of. That's funny. It's the same person, the same first location. LOL. I don't have a Black Widow though. We never have any turn 1 plays with this deck, so just pass. I'll have a guaranteed turn 2 play with Domino.
Right on time.
Hopefully Domino's visual jump there gets fixed soon too. I don't think our deck leverages cloning vats particularly well, so I'm just gonna go ahead and Rhino this off the board. Happy to Jubilee into Stark Tower because she gives us 2 bodies here. Dara sounds lovely for next turn. She'll allow us to do a 6-drop plus a Hellcow. Lockjaw Nikia is pretty good. See what they get. So we're obviously punting the ruins. Magneto potentially pulls Mr. Negative and Jubilee into DC. I think this is the play. I think I'm in for this. Teen Power mid. We have 10 technically, so you need to add 8 more there. Magic on turn 6 is just the best thing you could do in this game by a very large margin. Just changing the rules of engagement is so powerful. Like, there is a great example, right? Like, I Hellcow thinking the game is over, and it's not actually over. And then I get rinsed off. Losing the cards I haven't opened in 3,000 collection levels is a really big sad. This does not feel remotely fair.
Defeat.
This game is not released yet on any platform. I think Magic will be fair with reduced power cost, but can't be played on turn 6. Yeah, I think the biggest power. Honestly, if you said, Jeff, what design would you like Magic to see? I would like to see Magic have Storm stats with the caveat she only makes Limbo on before turn 6. I would like her to see her be a 3 mana 2 power card that says, okay, this only turns into Limbo on turns, 1 through 5.
What are the odds?
We can actually Hellcow on 2 here, which is kind of nice because of nowhere. So definitely play that out into here. Limbo. Do I want a turn 7? Is turn 7 good for me? I think it probably is. Turn 7 is reasonable for our deck when we know it's coming. Again, we can plan accordingly. I think I'm gonna Rhino the sewer system here. Okay, so I probably want to leave space here to... Oh, wait. We just do this, right? We Widow Wave, and then we Odin the Widow Wave next turn? Yeah, that's set onto the play, and I'm going to snap on that. They have 2 cards in, or 3 cards in hand. Those are all the cards they get for the rest of the game, basically. Because they don't draw a card this turn. So they have Widow's Bite +2 at the moment. They get to play 1 card right now, and then they'll get to play 1 card next turn as well. This combo together is super strong. You often do it on turns 2, 3, 4, but 5 into 6 here while Limbo's out is plenty good as well. He says before Scarlet Witch breaks Limbo and we lose the game. Okay, so their strong guy is notably not going to be particularly strong here. I think we just Magneto into nowhere and get up to 18 power here. Because even if they had Chavez, they didn't draw her, right? Because of the Widow Bites. Yeah, clean game. Good disruption. Couple of questions in chat and a resub. Thanks for 13 months, Graph. Appreciate that. Welcome back. Killmonger's an excellent one. Kraken asked me if I saw the thing about the collection experience changing. I did, but I don't really have any opinions on it other than its changes are welcome because we don't have any details yet. I wonder if whatever they change will be retroactive for those of us that have spent $1,000. Under Snap content on YouTube and love the deck highlights. Want to stop by and drop a follow? Well, thanks, Dark Moose. I didn't have a highlight yesterday or today because I just got back from vacation, but I will have a fresh one tomorrow, and then we'll have some regular ones again starting next week for sure. Thanks for dropping by a live one. No plays on 1 with this deck. We just pass. We get to Domino on 2. And we do have Wave into Sarah on 4 here. Little bit better hit from them. Okay.
Always lucky.
Could have been worse for us there for sure. They're the Mr. Negative deck, which we actually have our combo set up for here now. So we have Wave into Sarah into Odin the Wave on turn 5. So that way we have 2 plays on 6 and they do not. So I think I'm gonna snap here. We have a pretty strong 3, 4, 5, 6 here. We'll probably Sarah into the Icebox, because I think we're probably losing mid with the Devil Dinosaur here. That being their best play that turn seems incredibly good for us. So they get 1 play this turn, and then they'll have a couple of plays potentially next turn. On the last turn, they'll get 1. There's a Mr. Negative. Yep. So now Sarah makes our Odin only cost 5, so we'll get to drop him down here. And then on our next turn, Wave makes all of our cards cost 4, and then Sarah makes all of them cost 1 less. So we'll be able to play any two cards from our hand. One play this turn, eh?
I am Iron Man.
Okay, so Iron Man this turn makes me think they're setting up for Zola next turn, right? And Zola, if they Zola Iron Man into here, he'll be 5. So that'll be 13, 19, 38 here. If I Rhino here, these will each be minus, so they'll lose this, and then we'll Chavez here. I think sets us up for a W. I guess this is if they do something that's not Zola here. If they play out something with at least 8 power, I lose with this sequence. Naked Iron Man feels like Zola. Oh, it's just such a rancid experience.
Defeat.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, I wasn't off by a turn. They had magic. Also, if they would have just not had priority, if they would have had priority or we would have not priority, our Rhino would have gotten rid of this. No, this card just needs to be rebalanced. It's a really bad design as it is right now. It's a bad design that offers functionally no counterplay in a very frustrating manner. I'm just not a fan of its design in the slightest. I think well, let me rephrase. I think the design is fine. I think the lack of counterplay, the way it's currently works, is bad. The basically no counterplay, no meaningful counterplay is really shitty. There's no meaningful counterplay if your opponent is playing Magic is playing well. Just actual none. Hand's reasonable. Usually I Black Widow on 2 over Domino if I have her. Oh! Well, what are the odds, chat? We got a wave to pair with our Sarah? Lovely. And draw our actual waves. We just got a bonus one. Good beats. There's the Odin too. Sick. And we just have like the actual full combo here too, right? Because not only do we get Sarah into Odin, but we also get to Odin them on the Black Widow here. So it's just like both combos at once, basically. We're gonna lock them out of drawing a card and give them a Widow's Bite next turn. Yeah, I probably should have snapped it back, yeah. So now I get to play any 2 cards out of my hand here, and they get to play 1 card next turn.
All systems go. All systems go.
plays is actually Killmonger, right? We, Killmonger plus, I think Chavez is actually better than Magneto here, because I don't really want to pull Mr. Fantastic over, I don't think. We technically lose to, like, a Chavez out of the mid. That's fine. They had already played their 6-drop in Spectrum. Usually these Spectrum decks don't have like Chavez or anything like that. So I think we're pretty safe there. Unless Rhino says otherwise, Chip.
Right on time.
What a Rhino, the Space Throne. Yeah, I just don't really feel like playing against this Mr. Negative player again and losing to Magic for the 8th time in a row.
Escaped.
How often do you get bots? Mostly, rarely. If you are below rank 30, you get mostly bots as a way to pump extra cubes into the ladder system. Past rank 30, you only get bots when there's not a real person to pair you into relatively quickly. So there are bots somewhat frequently all the way up the ladder currently, but I imagine that will stop being the case once we get more human players in an open beta state. Open beta in full release. Widow Odin Sarah, just looking for a wave. 1 in 7 to draw wave on turn 3, because we are guaranteed to draw Domino this turn. So it'll be 1 in 6. Apologies, math. Quick maths.
Always lucky.
Invisible Woman, likely a Hella deck. I'm having to put rocks in their deck for their Invisible Woman is a pretty good beat for us. Let's Domino mid, and then we'll Jubilee left, because Jubilee left will technically have a chance to hit a wave out of our deck. And then we could Odin the wave. Obviously, we're most likely to hit Chavez here, and if we do that, we'll drop Sarah mid next turn. Ooh, hitting Shang-Chi there is super unfortunate. When asked, how much money did I spend to get to my current collection level? I have spent just shy of 1,000 USD on Marvel Snap. And I imagine when I finish out my collection level over the course of the next month, I'll probably spend another 300 to 400. That Venom was much worse than a Deathlock there. By a pretty significant margin. Okay, so opponent retreated. Sure, good beats. One of the developers said the next balance patch, or the next patch will have changes to collection progression. Yes, we don't have any details on what those changes are. They just said that that's been their biggest feedback, and a change is coming. Opponent. I think one of the biggest things Snap could do to improve the user experience is players should have less time on the earlier turns of the game and more time on the later turns. There's no reason why the timer ticking down should have the same amount of duration on turns 1 and 2 as it does on turns 4, 5, and 6. The later turns have a lot of permutations the way they can play out quite frequently, and the early turns have decidedly very few. And they should adjust that. Love a copy of Wave. If we draw, we have 6 cards in our deck, one of which is a Chavez, so we're 1 in 5 to draw Odin next turn. We're also 1 in 5 to draw Sarah, which is nice. So 40% of our draws are really good next turn. There's an Odin. So this is the Odin combo. So Odin is going to give them another Widow's Bite into their hand and make everything cost 4 next turn. So it's effectively going to cut them off of 2 draws. Because they probably won't play the Widow's Bite out next turn, and then they'll have it for the following turn as well. So I think I'm going to snap on this, actually. This also means I can play a big expensive card next turn too. So I know I'm drawing Chavez next turn, which means my Killmonger is not an option. So I'm probably losing mid, unfortunately. I guess I could play Magneto into mid, and then I hope to win right with Chavez is probably reasonable. Yeah, that's probably the line. I'm going to Magneto mid, so we win mid, and then we'll Chavez right to win right. Oh, I suppose something I didn't consider here is they could just pass on Sunspot, right? Is a little scary. That seems unlikely though, right? If they pass on Sunspot, I could Chavez left, but then if they play left, I could get got there. They only have 2 cards in their hand, because one of them is a Widow's Bite. I think I was going to Chavez into nowhere and assume that they're going to make a play. Haha, close game. So they bladed so they could tie the center, and then I won by a narrow tiebreaker here. So the tiebreaker, if you both win one location, is total power. So they're up 5 here, I'm up 6 here. So we win by 1. Slick. This game would have been a lot less close if I drew Killmonger. Someone said they've never considered building a deck without 1-drops before. Yeah, I think it's something that you kind of need pool 3 cards to be doing. They should have bladed left since they knew they were tying mid. Not necessarily. I think it ends up being the same either way, right? Can you explain to me why they should blade left? Because the outcome there is exactly the same. What does blading left play around that blading right doesn't? Can you explain your thought process? Because I don't see it. It looks the same either way, I think. This card might have one of my favorite animations in the game. This location. It's such a great little touch.
Get out of here.
We just domino right. I don't want to fill the Avengers compound. Oh, Rhino hitting there is actually quite bad for us. I was kind of hoping to have that to clear bar with no name later.
I wouldn't do it.
I wouldn't do it.
Opponent snapped.
I'm gonna bounce on that snap. I don't think we're very likely to win this game the way the variance flipped out. Yeah, Hell Cow just fills our curve at the end. If we know we're drawing Chavez on 6, you can play it on turn 5 along with the 3-drop. Or you can play it on turn 6 alongside Shang-Chi.
Opponent snapped.
I mean, yeah, I'm in. Let's go. I'm in it to win it, chat. We've got our setup. We've got Wave into Sarah into Odin. It's our 3, 4, 5, and then we get to double card in 6.
Right on time.
I think that's actually still fine for us because it's actually much worse for them because they equated, right? But like my hand is set up here. I'm gonna not play into District X because they have Angela here. So I'm going to leave myself flexibility in Olympia to play another big play there, but we're gonna Sarah this turn, which makes Odin cost 5 next turn. It is noteworthy that because District X happened, our Chavez is gone. So we do not have the option to Chavez here. Ooh, they hit a Swarm. Ultron's actually not terrible here. It's a 7 power play for next turn. They discarded 2 Swarms, so they could play those out here. But if they don't play out the Swarms proactively, the Odin really gets them. I mean, it's usually optimal to wait to Swarm, so you have more information about where to play them out later. So again, now every card in my hand costs 3, because Wave -1 from Sarah. Wave makes them 4. Sarah makes them cost 1 less. Spider-Manning the path that they're winning really hard feels like a strange line. Yeah, I might put it retreated just because they're locked out. That's exactly what we look to do. So this is the setup, and then whenever you wave into Sarah into Odin, we get to play 2 cards on turn 6, and then they only get to play 1. And they're extra got by it because they have swarms they wanted to play out for free, and they didn't this turn. Which, again, it's usually correct to wait with swarm, especially when your opponent's already waved. Not every wave deck's an Odin deck. What's the purpose of Rhino in this deck? It's a replacement level card. It's just utility to get rid of a location that can be troublesome for you. I don't have strong feelings on Rhino. It could be literally any other 3-drop. All right, I'm gonna play this deck for a little bit. Let's play something else for the last little bit here, huh? What do I want to do? Oh, you know what? We haven't played. Oh, let's play the Have Some Crap deck. We played this a little bit yesterday at the start. I think it's. I don't know that this deck is very good, but it's really funny. Let's wrap up with this one. I need to start farming some games for a highlight with this one because it's hilarious. It is possible for District X to put Chavez in your deck and for you to then draw her on 6, is correct. I thought you didn't like how cost reduction worked with Wave. Did you change your mind, or was that someone else? So I, as a person with a brain who's capable of having critical thoughts but also plays games, I am capable of being critical of how cost reduction works with waves and disliking it in general, but also acknowledging that it's a powerful deck building thing that we're going to showcase on stream. So yes, I think in an ideal world, Wave wouldn't work with cost reduction the way she does now, but also I live in this reality, so I'm playing this deck that leverages it. Yes. I don't own a copy of Death, or we would play the Death Wave deck occasionally too to showcase it. My goal here on stream is to showcase different decks that are available to play in Marvel Snap. You seen the Agatha Harkness deck? Yeah, you can find highlights with the Agatha deck up on the Snap YouTube channel. Debris creates rocks in other locations for both players. Just kind of fills it up. Is it a crap mirror? Maybe. There's a few decks that play Black Widow. I haven't played a few different Widows decks. If I tried the Deathwave deck, I'm only at collection level 3100, so I'm missing a number of important cards like Death still. Yes, my top 5 reasons Marvel Snap is awesome includes a how to play video. Or how to play tutorial. Thanks for dropping by, ML. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. There's a bunch of us hang out in the Discord server too that talk about it as well. Good old rock chat. Nothing beats rock. Oh man, that's the good stuff right there. Listen, chat, I don't know if this deck is good, but it's certainly hilarious, okay? It's certainly hilarious. I enjoy it. This deck is quality content. Do we like debris? No, I guess if I debris, my rock over here starts losing, but I'm probably gonna Spider Woman here anyways, right? I think I want to try and debris a rock into the middle. What if we do this actually? Have some crap, opponent. Oh, that's sick. Carnage eats all of these and becomes an 8 and then becomes a 13. And then we Spider Woman here. So they would have to give up 5 energy, and if they only play a 1-drop here, we probably win this, right? So I'm gonna snap. I think we've won. Yeah, nice Infinite. Have some crap. Get out of here. Oh, man. That was excellent. Talk about farming games for a highlight reel. That's definitely one right there. I think Doc Ock is a replacement level card for this deck. I think you need to have Hood for this deck. Viper is much worse without Hood. I would agree that Doc Ock's not super important. Ooh, piece of candy. Okay. Okay, so if they're planning to destroy cards here where Bucky Barnes is, that means I want to debris over into these locations, so I don't want them to be able to eat the rocks. So, Ironheart, Hood, Beast, pick all of these up. I'm into it. That's a pretty delicious one. Is that a snap? I think Hobgoblin to the negative zone might be a snap. I guess they're a destroy deck. Maybe I want to wait on this actually, because they're a destroy deck. Oh, Hobgoblin left, because they're less likely to want to destroy here. That's a good shout actually. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe I'm supposed to Hood this turn. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to have Hooded last turn, so that way I would have a 1-mana demon to spend the resource on this turn. If I want to replay Hood here, I have to decide which location I'm giving up. Do I think I'm giving up the negative zone, or do I think I'm giving up Titan? Oh, the demon will be free next turn. That's true, because of Elysium. I forgot about that. I think I'm giving up Titan. Nah, I'm gonna give up Titan here. I snapping? I almost want to snap. It's close. That's an insane Killmonger. Okay, so their Deadpools have 4 power each. Oof. Their Deadpools have 4 power each. I think I'm still okay to play into the center, right? We do this, this, and then I have a total of 3 power here. I think we stay in. Their Deadpools are free, though. Just a little scary. They have 5 cards in hand. We could lose this, but I think I'm staying in for an extra point. Survey says will be 6 to their 0 here, but anything they play here is -3. No, I assume Deadpool's ability ignores the -3 from negative zone.
Enough said, bug.
Oh, is that 2 Mysterios in the middle? Each of these are only 2 though, right? So this will be 2, 2, and then 1, so we win mid. Yeah, sweet. Okay, close game.
Victory.
Close game. Lockjaw boosters. Almost out of credits again. She at 460. We're also almost out of gold. Almost time to swipe the credit card again. I want to put Hood into the same path as Korg in case we draw Beast to pick them both up. That's cute. I think I want to do this way. A Spider Woman here. Just for the sake of resource efficiency. And then we'll probably Doc Ock into the middle. Oh, really? They didn't do anything else here. I guess that means I get an extra turn with everybody getting +1 at least. Spider-Womaning here when I draw Beast is not great, I guess.
Opponent snapped.
I'm gonna Doc Ock in the center and take away their freebie. In my opinion, none of the move decks are playable.
I am Iron Man.
Haha, we got the bishop out of their hand too. And they don't get to draw a card in the last turn. I actually don't know if that lets us win though, right? So that would be really good, except Crimson Cosmos has us locked out, right? Playing Spider-Woman might have been wrong. I maybe should have saved Spider-Woman because this was Crimson Cosmos. You actually just lose here.
Escaped.
I think the movement decks all need bigger numbers, and Heimdall needs more flexibility in which direction he moves your board in. I think Heimdall should probably be changed to say if you play this on the left side, your board moves right. If you play it on the right side, your board moves left to give you more control. Nice. I love Viper donate a Raptor. It's one of my favorites. It's like, all right, we're probably winning the Savage Lands off of this play. One drop. Okay, that's kind of hilarious. Come to Papa. I binge.
I am Iron Man.
Okay, so we're giving up Scar, right? I'm just not playing into Scar. So I think I'm snapping and then I'm beasting the Doc Ock back to my hand. Doc Ock is a fantastic disruptive card. He's easily one of my favorite. If you haven't seen this card in action before, you definitely want to check out the Dr. Domino deck on the Snap Highlight channel. Really does a great job of showcasing the powerful disruption that card can provide. It's one of those cards where you read it the first couple of times, you're like, man, this card seems awful. And then like you start playing with it and the wheels start turning, you're like, oh, this card's doing stuff. Any one drop. Rats. Anytime we can do one of our one drops into Beast, pick it back up tends to be pretty reasonable. Hobgoblin is really nice into the sewer system, so it'll be -9 there. Mindscape's a little annoying. That's extra annoying. Big sad. Our Hobgoblin is only -6 now. The good news is we probably just don't need Hobgoblin this game. So we'll Korg here, give him a rock. And then we can Korg into Hood. Actually, what if we do this? And that makes all of these bigger and it sets me up Carnage here on the right for next turn. I think this is good for us. It might even be right to play the demon into the sewer system, honestly. Just have it there as a 10 power thing. Yeah, I think thinking on it this in the middle is probably wrong. We're gonna swap hands here in a second, so I'm definitely playing this out. The question is, do I want to play out Viper too? I think I do. I think we do this. We're just playing her as a vanilla 3-drop. Then we'll play Carnage here. And they're gonna get Spider-Woman plus Hobgoblin from us. And we're gonna get a couple of cards from them. 4 cards, it looks like. Good old Rock. Nothing beats Rock, chat. I love Korg. Korg is so good. I think we just blew Marvel right? I guess we could also White Tiger plus Sunspot. This thing got bigger. If I just like Sunspot here and then White Tiger here, so it guarantees jumps to the right. Puts me to 13 here and 14 here. That seems great. I have not done a video explaining how to min-max the economy in Marvel Snap because there are economy changes coming. So I've been holding off on doing a video like that because we know changes are coming. They're adding something called Nexus events before the end of the month, and they are, they're adding something called Nexus events, and they're changing some of the end game progression. And once we have all the information and numbers on that, I'll publish a video breaking down how far money goes and what's optimal. If you do enjoy the gameplay of Marvel Snap and you want to minnow a little bit, not full whale to max spend, I would recommend just buying the battle pass right now. I think if you're not someone like me that's gonna full out everything and buy everything right off the bat, putting in like 4 figures, I think I'm gonna end up spending like $1,200 or so for a full collection. I would recommend just buying the battle pass and waiting to see what adjustments they make. The battle pass is $10 a month. Very, very reasonable. All right, chat. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it an afternoon. I appreciate everybody. How do you get the game? You do a Google search, how to sideload Marvel Snap, and it'll tell you how to do it on both Android or iOS. I'll be back tomorrow with some more Snap tomorrow afternoon. I am planning to have a Snap deck highlight, brand new, up on the Hoaglandia Snap channel tomorrow morning as well. So if you enjoy the vibe of the stream, make sure you give that a follow. If you're new, I stream full time here, do a ton of card games and other stuff. Absolutely love Marvel Snap. If you enjoy my stuff here and you consider subscribing to the channel, that is how I pay my bills. So I appreciate everybody that does that. Remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free Prime sub with that every single month as well. You can take a few bucks from Jeff Bezos and give it to someone like me. I'm off. Everybody enjoy.